Hello, wonderful, lovely people. I did a video recently telling you all that you can tell me your biggest struggles, and I will record each of you a voice message and answer your questions. I decided it would be a lot easier to just do it as videos, and then you can all benefit from what I might have to say. So let's get straight into this one. Mr. M2H364, what a username, says, I'm 24 and my life is going in a good direction, but I'm still a loser socially. I am still a virgin and I am about as lonely, friend-wise as I've ever been. It's really making me feel bitter and resentful, and yeah, I know this is a cliche that you've heard before, but I really don't want to wait until my 30s to date. But at the same time, I feel like there isn't really that much I can do about it. Okay, let's start with the statement that you've said here. I know this is a cliche that you've heard before. You, my friend, are more than just a cliche. Yes, your struggles are things that I have heard literally hundreds of times at this point, but that doesn't make you a cliche. That doesn't mean that what you're going through is any less, I guess I would say, meaningful to me. And the word meaningful here is what I want to drill down on. Right now, you're focused on certain things, like I'm a loser, you're not a loser. I'm a virgin, that's okay. I feel lonely, that's okay. I feel bitter and resentful, that's okay. Lots of people do. I know this is a cliche. If it's a cliche, that's okay, but I promise you're not a cliche. I don't want to wait until my 30s to date. You don't have to. I feel like there isn't really that much I can do about it. That's okay. Lots of people feel helpless. But I want to talk a little bit about meaning here. And a lot of the time when we're suffering, which, you clearly are suffering a little bit right now, when we're suffering, it's because we can't find any meaning in it. We feel like, why is this happening to me? I don't understand why I can't make friends. I don't understand why I'm still a virgin. I don't understand why I feel resentful and bitter. I don't understand what I could do to change it. You say at the very end there, at the same time, I feel like there isn't really that much I can do about it. You don't understand, or you don't know what you could do about it. But when we can get some understanding and find some meaning in our suffering, then we don't suffer as much anymore. There was a really good quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, very famous old philosopher and psychologist, who said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." In other words, if you know why you are suffering or what it is leading to, if you have some purpose or meaning in your suffering, then you can bear almost any suffering. You don't even see it as suffering. You're just like, this is what I'm going through to get to the place that I'm getting to. And so what I'm offering you here is a little bit of hope, or a rewriting or a retelling of this story that you've written here. You've told us all a story that you're a loser, that you're a virgin, that it's useless, that you're going to be, have to wait till your 30s before you date, and even then, maybe not, who knows, and there isn't anything you can do about it. But if we tell a different story and say, maybe right now, this is your genesis point, this is your beginning, and if you apply yourself and do a little bit each day and just take some tiny little baby steps, you don't have to do anything crazy, just a little bit each day over the next few months, the next few years. By the time you are, 26, that's only 2 years from now, you could absolutely have an amazing social circle. You could have lost your virginity and maybe have a girlfriend if that's what you're looking for, or be dating casually and adding to the lives of the people that you date, and they will add to your life. You could have a group of people that you very much trust. You could have let go of that bitterness and that resentfulness, which really is just, I'll get to that in a second. I'll talk about that bit in a second. You could have an amazing sex life, a lot of self-love. That is something that I would absolutely be working on if I was you. And you can be at a point where you're really, really, really happy with your life by the time you're 26. And if I offer that hope to you and tell you to just take some baby steps every day and tell you that that's possible, and you don't have to believe me right now, but it is possible. I am correct in that. I have been doing this a lot longer than you have. And I think part of you knows that. That's why you're asking me for help. I'm telling you it's fucking possible. By the time you're 26, you could have an amazing life. If I tell that to you, and I tell you that this point right now that you're at is the starting point, that can help you let go a little bit of some of the suffering that you're feeling right now, because you're like, oh, okay, this is just the start of my journey. And right now I might be suffering a little bit. I might not know what to do. But if I just take some baby steps and give myself permission to suck and work on this one day at a time, and that's all you're doing here, one day at a time. That's all I ever do. That's all my coaching clients ever do. One day at a time. Wow, this could be the start of my journey. And maybe one day when I'm 25 or 26, I will look back and be very proud of myself for what I have done. I will feel an immense sense of gratitude for the people that helped me and believed in me. I will feel an immense sense of gratitude for the people that kept me accountable. I will look back and be very grateful for how far I have come. And so, right now, where you are, this is like the underdog story. And you're not an underdog, but this is like the underdog story, isn't it? It's a story that we all love to watch in movies. We love to see the person who starts at one point and self improves and then ends up at a second point. That's you, my friend. You have a beautiful opportunity here. You're telling a story of loss and grief and pain and suffering. You know, I'm a loser. I'm bitter and resentful. I'm going to have to wait till my 30s to date, or I don't want to have to wait till my 30s to date. There isn't anything I can do about it, which is like patently untrue. I think you know that, but that's just a feeling. You said, I feel like. Anytime we add I feel at the start of a sentence, we are literally admitting that we're kind of full of shit, or that we might not be completely true. We're not stating a fact or a truth. We're saying, I feel like. You know, feelings aren't facts. Anyway, I think you know that. But where you are right now is the beginning. And where you're going to be a year or two from now, you will look back and be very grateful that this was your beginning, because you get to tell a beautiful story. Imagine you do take one little baby step every day for the next year or two. You know, imagine you do what I've challenged all of you to do many times. Imagine you do a 365-day project where you just take a little bit of action every day. I'm currently right now doing 2 365-day projects at the same time. I think this is my 5th and my 6th 365-day project. I've talked about them a little bit recently. Right now, I'm doing one piece of content every single day. I've kept a spreadsheet. Here's all the bits of content I've done so far. At least one per day, and I'm up to day 107. And I've done plenty of other 365 projects in the past. So that's something you could do. You could say, I am going to go out and smile at one stranger a day. You know, since you talked about socializing and feeling like you don't have a lot of friends and you feel a bit lonely, the antidote or the cure for loneliness is to go smile at strangers. And you could do a 365 project of that. You could start right now today. It's not something that's incredibly difficult. Just go outside and smile at someone. Don't worry about their reaction. It doesn't matter if they smile back to you. It doesn't even matter if they notice that you smiled at them. All that matters is that you smiled at them. Do one of those a day. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you could start one conversation with one stranger a day. All you have to do is say, hey, I like your shoes. That's it. You did it for that day. Or you're in the grocery store and you say, hey, how's your day going? To the person that's serving you or bagging your groceries. But just one little sentence to one person a day. You could do that every day for a year. And think how beautiful that story is going to be when you get to the end of that year and you go, wow, I remember making a comment or writing a comment to Andy a year ago, telling him how I felt like my life was completely directionless. I felt like a loser. I felt like I had no friends. I was bitter. I was resentful. I was a virgin. I had no idea about my dating life. And now I have had 365 little conversations with other human beings. I have smiled at 365 people in the last year. I made the world a slightly better place. Wow, there's some meaning in my life. Maybe I'll do another 365-day project and start the next little chapter of my life. And that's kind of the beauty of a 365-day project. It feels like it frames your life. You have some purpose for the next 365 days. It's like a little concise, I guess it's not super concise if it's a whole year, but it's a chapter. And then you move on to the next chapter. Again, this is my 5th and 6th 365-day project. I freaking love these things so much that I'm doing 2 at the same time right now. And so that's something that you could do. But that is the antidote here, my friend. You know, it's funny that we often tell stories of like, I'm suffering and it all sucks and there's nothing I can do about it and it's awful and all of that. But if I tell you that this is the start of your journey, and that this could lead to something beautiful, there's now a little bit of purpose. There's now some meaning in the loneliness. You are lonely right now, so that in the future you can look back and say, look how far I have come. What do I say at the start of all of my videos? I say, I went from depressed and suicidal to living a life of abundance and joy. If I could do it, you sure as hell can too. You get to be that. That is your opportunity. You could have that beautiful gift and be that beautiful gift to the world by improving yourself a little bit at a time. And that's all I've ever done. I haven't made big, massive changes all at once. It's just been a series of tiny little baby steps added up over time. You get to be that. You get to be that miracle for the world or that inspiration for the people around you, even just in a small, tiny little way of you smiling at 365 people over the next year, or starting 365 conversations, or some other project that you want to do to add to your social life and your dating life. If you want to go a little further than that, you could say, I will go up to one stranger a day and ask them if they want to be my friend. Bro, imagine the connections and the friendships that you would make if you just talked to one stranger a day and said, do you want to be friends? Half of those people would be like, fuck yeah, I'll be your friend. Why not? Boom. Now you have 182.5 friends, 182 or 183 friends. You know, what if you walked up to one girl a day and said, hi, you're really pretty and I would love to take you out for a drink or for a coffee. Are you single? You know, you would have 365 approaches. You would get some dates. You would lose your virginity. You'd have some beautiful experiences. You'd add a lot to the world by going up and complimenting 365 women. That's a lot of women that you just told that they're pretty. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they felt exactly the same way that you're feeling, because guess what? This is a radical notion, but women are human beings and they often feel like a loser. They often feel bitter and resentful. They often feel like they're going to have to wait till their 30s before they date or before they ever find a man or any of that. They often feel like there's nothing they can do about it. You walking up and saying, hey, you're really pretty. And I just wanted to say, hey, maybe that's the fucking beautiful cure or miracle that she needed in her life in that moment. And you just gave that to her. So whatever 365-day project you end up going with, I really recommend that, my friend, because that is a beautiful way to start taking some action and start working on those baby steps. Let's dig into the very last statement that you said. So in my Play to Win video course, which you all know, I bring it up all the damn time, this beautiful Play to Win video course right here, there's a chapter, this chapter right here, that I really, really, really recommend that you read, because you said, I feel like there isn't really much I can do about it. In this chapter, I talk about how there's always something that you can do. You know, every problem has a solution. There is always some little baby step that you can do right now, even when you feel hopeless or you feel helpless or you feel like, man, there's nothing I can do about it. And so what I would love to see from you is start brainstorming, you know, get out a big piece of paper. I want you to brainstorm 15, 20 things that you can do to improve your social life, because that's one goal that you have. 15 things that you can do to lose your virginity. 15 things you can do to let go of the bitterness and the resentfulness or the resentment. 15 things you can do to start working on your dating life right now so you don't have to wait till your 30s. Like, write out a big list of each of those things, of things that you can do right now, action that you can take right this second. Because again, my friend, there is always something that you can do. There's a lot that you can do. Now, I will help you with some of this right this second. Let's tackle I'm still a loser socially, because that's a heck of a story, my friend. Calling yourself a loser doesn't exactly make it easier to go out and socialize with people, does it? Are you going to walk up to people with the energy and the feeling and the belief of I'm a loser and be like, hi, would you like to be my friend? By the way, I'm a loser. People are going to say like, no. And you're going to go, yeah, see, because I'm a loser. So it doesn't make it very, that story is not serving you. That belief that you're a loser is not serving you. So let's tackle that first. Like I said, I want you to get out a piece of paper or do it on your computer or whatever, right? 15 reasons why you're the opposite of that. What would the opposite of a loser be? A winner, right? 15 reasons why you're a winner. Here's one. The fact that you opened up and were this vulnerable with all of us, with me and everybody else here, that's incredible. That's something that winners do. What is the second thing? My life is going in a good direction. Wow, that makes you a winner. That's amazing. You know, I'm a virgin, but I'm able to open up and have the courage to admit that. Wow, that's a fucking winner. I'm into self-improvement. You're sitting here watching a self-improvement channel, my friend. And not just that, but you're participating. You wrote this comment. That is participation. You're not sitting there passively like most people do. Probably just called out a lot of people, but most of the people that are watching this right now have never written a fucking comment ever. They've never participated in this community ever. And that's okay. Participate if you want to, don't if you don't want to. But you, my friend, have taken a step to participate. So you're very into self-improvement. That makes you a winner. Winners, like the people that win, the people that have success, the people that are happy and peaceful and abundant and living that beautiful life, they're into self-improvement. Like that's like the number one quality of success is like you will improve, you will learn, you will grow, you have a growth mindset. That, my friend, is you. That's something that winners do. You have a lot in common with winners. You admit the things that you want to work on. Like you're very self-aware in this statement. That's something that winners do. You're very, I guess I would say, open-minded, open-hearted. That's something that winners are. You asked for help. You asked me for help. That's something that winners do. You are not alone going to be successful. Like no one in the world who's successful did it all by themselves, like ever. That's just not how that works. You need other people's advice, inspiration, motivation, accountability, help, support, picking you up when you're down. Like you need other people. And so you have asked for help. That's something that winners do. Bro, I just told you like 7 things that winners do that you're doing. And so the story of I'm still a loser, that's just like literally patently false, And so get in there and finish that off. Write another 7 or 8 reasons why you're a winner. So that's that little bit. All right, let's tackle the next bit because you said there isn't really much I can do about it. I am still a virgin. Write out 15 reasons or 15 things that you can do about being a virgin. Number 1, you could go and grab the course that Cam and I made. This course right here, Get Laid in 6 Weeks, even if you're inexperienced. That's just at getlaidin6weeks.com. You can go check that out. You can pay whatever you want for that, even if that's just $1. So there you go. That would be a decent starting place, wouldn't it? Something else you can do to start working on it, like I said, do a 365-day project of going out and just talking to one woman a day. That would help you lose your virginity. If you can't do that right now, like if that's too scary for you, go outside and every day smile at one woman. And then work up the courage to give her a compliment. Then work up the courage to have a little conversation with her. Then work up the courage to say, by the way, you're really pretty. Would you like to go on a date with me? Can I get your phone number? You work up to that. You don't have to just suddenly do that. But that's something that you could do. Again, you said there isn't much I can do about it. I don't know where you're at in terms of your self-improvement. Like I have no idea what you look like. I have no idea what your style is like. I have no idea what like anything about you, but that's something that you could work on. Self-improvement is a really good way to have more people be interested in you romantically, intimately, sexually, isn't it? So that's something you could do. Again, this story of like, I feel like there isn't really much I can do about it. Let's turn that around, brother. Like write 15 things that you can do to start working on losing your virginity. All right, the next story. I feel lonely friend-wise. So basically you're saying there, I don't feel like I have a lot of friends. Okay, right? 15 things that you could do, 15 little baby steps that you could do about that. 15 ways you could start winning, 15 ways you could start making progress a tiny bit at a time. And it will take baby steps. You are just going to do a tiny bit at a time. Don't expect that tomorrow you'll go out and just have an amazing social life. Like you're capable of that, but you're probably not going to do that. So let's start with baby steps, right? Go outside. One idea is go outside. Like I said, just start a conversation with people. I did a video on this. This video here, it's called Talk to Everybody, the World is Your Friend. And then Cam did a video on my channel as well called Want Social Freedom, Talk to Everybody. And we talked about how you can just go outside and start talking to people. That's like the best, easiest way to start socializing. There's also a playlist on my channel called Friends Social. I would go through that and watch every video in there. If you go to my website, killyourinnerloser.com, and just search for the word friends, I have an entire guide, my friend, called How to Make Friends. I've got a whole bunch of sections in there on how you can make friends, how you can make friends that will push you with your goals and be there for you and, have beautiful, deep friendships. And so I would go and start with that. So yeah, this idea of like, there really isn't much, or I feel like there really isn't much that I can do about it. That's just like literally not true. But you might have to start doing some brainstorming. Like I said, doing 15 things that you can do. Write down 15 things that you can do right now to start taking action. All right, the next bit. I feel bitter and resentful. And so the mission there, the goal there would be to let go of some of that bitterness and resentfulness. And you don't have to let it all go, but let go of some of the bitterness and resentfulness. So why do we ever feel bitter and resentful? Because we had expectations, or we have expectations. I talk about this all the time. This is the mindset that you want to have in life. No expectations, only curiosity. You right now feel resentful and bitter because you had an expectation of how life should go, or how the world should be, or how you yourself should be. And then when those expectations have not lined up with reality, in other words, when your expectations don't quite come true, we feel bitter, resentful, hateful, angry, frustrated, annoyed, pissed off. We're arguing with reality. And so the antidote, one antidote to this, is Stoicism, particularly the book Loving What Is by Byron Katie. This is my favorite book when it comes to Stoicism and accepting what has happened. Right now, you don't have a lot of friends. You're just frustrated with that. Right now, you are a virgin. You're just frustrated with that. But that is the current reality. And sitting there arguing with it, like I said, just leads to bitterness and resentfulness and all of that. That is why I say the number one fucking quality that helps with self-improvement is humility. Accepting where you are right now, giving yourself permission to suck. Right now, you are a virgin. You have not had sex with a female human woman. You probably don't have a lot of friends, at least according to, your comment. Okay, great. Accept that. That is the current reality. Let's love the current reality, and then let's work with that. We're working under the current conditions of the current reality. You are a virgin. You don't have many friends. Okay, now what do we want to do about it? But all the time spent feeling bitter and resentful, which is just an argument with reality, we're arguing and wishing things were different, we're literally wasting time and energy that we could be putting towards actually improving things. There's another book that's basically talks about the exact same concept. It's called You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. I highly recommend you grab this book. And again, I highly recommend you grab Loving What Is. These two books will absolutely start helping you let go of a little bit of that bitterness, a little bit of that resentfulness, and start moving towards what you actually want. There's a third book I would recommend to you. This book here by Jocko Willink, it's called Extreme Ownership. I highly recommend you take that book because right now, that is something that you could work on. That is something that you would benefit from. Your statement of, I feel like there really isn't that much I can do about it. The truth there is, I currently am not taking responsibility for this. Like, that's the truth. If we're just going to say the blunt, honest truth, right now you are not taking responsibility for the fact that you're a virgin. You are not taking responsibility for the fact that you feel like you don't have a lot of friends and you feel like a loser. You are not taking responsibility for the bitterness and resentfulness, and that's okay. The vast majority of human beings do not take any responsibility for themselves or their lives. They have, or they live in the paradigm or the mindset of victim perpetrator. There's a perpetrator doing things to me and I'm the victim. The universe is doing things to me and I'm the victim. Life is doing things to me and I'm the victim. That's the way you're talking. I'm a virgin and it's not fair and I'm lonely friend-wise and it's unfair and I feel bitter and resentful. The only way you will feel bitter and resentful is if you feel like you're the victim. I feel like there isn't much I can do about it. That's something a victim says. Literally, that's what victims say. But you, my friend, are not a victim. Look at the action you've already taken. You're the person who takes responsibility. In other words, you are the person, like I said, who takes extreme ownership. This is you. This book is you, my beautiful friend. You're going to start, you already have by asking for help. You're going to continue to take ownership of this. That's why I said, write a list of 15 things that you can do for each one of those things. Being a virgin, feeling bitterness and resentfulness, not feeling like you have a lot of friends, feeling like a loser. For each one of those, write 15 things for each one that you can do. And again, this is literally in my Play to Win video course, this chapter here. Every problem has a solution. There is always something that you can do, even if it's a tiny little baby step, but you have to take responsibility. And that is something that you've started doing. You asking for help is you starting to take responsibility. Let's keep moving in that direction and keep taking responsibility. Because I will be very honest with you, Nobody is coming to save you, motherfucker. And the same thing applies to all of you. Nobody's coming to save you. There's no like white knight on a white horse, his trusty steed. He's going to come galloping in to save you and turn your life around. I'm not going to fucking save you. How the hell would I fucking save you in a YouTube comment? Like, am I going to be the one that pushes you out there and has all the conversations for you and gets you socializing and gets you talking to women? Fuck no. Even if you join my coaching program and you pay me $11,000, or you take a fucking payment plan, you still pay me that same amount of money. Even if you pay me $11,000, I can't go out there and get you to talk to women or talk to friends or like talk to people that will become your friend. I can't make you go to the gym. I can't make you lose weight. I can't make you improve yourself. I can't make you have a positive mindset. I don't do any of that. I'm just there as the support, as the advice, as the motivation, as the one giving you love, as the one telling you you can make it and all of that. You're the one that has to walk the path. There's a really beautiful quote that I love from the first Matrix movie. I can only show you the door. You're the one who has to walk through it. And so you, my beautiful friend, are going to be the one that takes the action. Nobody else is coming to do that for you. Nobody else is coming to save you. This applies to so many of you. You sit there in that sort of victim mindset of like, how can life happen to me? Why is this happening to me? I don't understand anything. It's not fair. I feel bitter. I feel resentful. You can feel all of that as much as you want. You're very entitled to that, but that will not get you the life that you want. Ownership will. You taking responsibility for your life will. It's so easy to say it's not fair. It doesn't have to be fair. No one promised you anything is fair. And actually, life is incredibly fucking fair. If you take no action towards the life that you want to live, you don't get that life. If you take a decent amount of action towards that life you want to live, you do get that life. How could it be more fair than that? Life is literally completely fucking fair. It's just that people will say, life doesn't give me what I feel like I'm entitled to without any work. That's what people really mean when they say life isn't fair. They're like, I should just have what other people put a lot of effort and work into getting. I should just get that. That wouldn't be fair. That would be that's like communism. That's like these people are working really hard and have worked on their self-improvement and being very vulnerable and honest and thrown themselves into self-improvement, and they've been terrified and they've done it anyway. But I should get all of that without the work and without the responsibility and without the effort and without the baby steps and without the patience that is required to do it for months or years. I'm not going to do any of that shit, but I should just have a cool social life. I should just lose my virginity. Women should just jump on my penis without me doing jack shit. I shouldn't do anything to make that happen. People should just be in my life and text me and be my best fucking friend and be there for me, and like we should have adventures and all of that, but without me doing anything to make that happen. That wouldn't be fair. And yet we sit there and we feel, as you said, bitter. We feel resentful. We feel like there's nothing I can do about it. This isn't fair. Like, why don't I have what I want? Because you haven't done the steps that are required to get what you want. And so it's a very easy answer then, isn't it? If I want to lose my virginity, I just have to do the steps that are required to lose my virginity. It's not about worth. It's not about deserving. It's not about whether or not you're good enough. It's not about whether or not you're too short, too tall, too this, too that. None of that. It's just, did you do the steps that are required for you to lose your virginity? Yes or no? And I could say that to you right now. Have you done the steps required to lose your virginity? The answer is no. Have you done the steps required to make friends? No. Have you done the steps that are required to let go of bitterness and resentfulness? No. That's why you don't have those things. It's that. It's simple as that. It's as fair as it possibly could ever be. Do the steps, you get the thing. Wow, that's incredibly fair. The universe is a fucking kind place, but people will often sit there and with that entitlement go, yeah, but I don't have what I want. Well, have you done the steps and done the work? No. Then why would you get the thing? Again, it's like communism. It's a communist mindset that I think is just inherent in our ego that says, I should have the thing without doing the work. I don't want to do the steps that are required to get it. I should just get it. Someone should just give it to me. The universe should just give it to me. Women should just sit on my penis. Or if you're a woman, men should just come into my life and hit on me, even though I've done nothing to work on myself. I am not an interesting person. I have nothing really of value to offer. But Prince Charming should just come running into my life. Or in your case, Princess Charming should just come running into my life and jump on my penis before I hit my 30s. And she should just love me unconditionally and give me everything I want when I've done nothing to take the steps towards that. You've done something. Let's be fair. You've done some things to work towards that, and that's amazing. You've posted this asking for help. That's fucking incredible, my bro. This is so beautiful stuff. You being vulnerable and opening up. But there are more steps that are required for you to lose your virginity. You're going to have to go talk to some goddamn women. Otherwise, how will they know you exist? They literally don't know you exist until you walk up to them and say, "Hi, I exist. Would you like to go on a date with me?" "Ah, sure." And then you're like, "Whoa, okay." So I just had to talk to women and some of them would go on a date with me. Yes. I don't know how many women you might need to talk to. I don't know what you look like. I don't know how much self-improvement you've done. I don't know where you live. I know nothing about you. But there is a number of women that you will talk to. And then eventually one of them will say, "Yes, I would love to go on a date with you." And you go, "Holy shit." And then there is a number of women that you go on dates with before one of them will sleep with you and say, "Hey, let's lose that virginity of yours." And you go, "Holy shit, I just had to talk to women." That was all that was required, and maybe improve myself a little bit along the way. Nothing drastic, just have decent grooming, lose a bit of weight if you're chubby, throw in a little bit of muscle over 6 months or a year at the gym. Like nothing crazy. You don't have to wait till you've done all that stuff, by the way. Be talking to women while you do that stuff. And again, if you right now say, "I can't do those things, Andy, I'm not ready." Okay. There is always something you can do. Every problem has a solution. Focus on what you can do. And if all you can do right now is go outside and smile at one woman a day, brilliant, do that. If you can't do that, walk around outside and think about smiling at one woman until you finally work up the courage. After doing that for a few days or weeks, you'll work up the courage to start smiling at women. Then you slowly work up the courage to just say, "Hi, you're pretty," and then you run away and you're like, "Oh my God, fuck, I did it. I can't believe I did that. I'm dying. My heart is beating. I'm dying." That's how I felt when I first started giving women compliments. I thought I was going to fucking die if I told a woman that she was cute. And what actually happened is I walked up to a bunch of women and felt like I was dying. And I said, "You're really cute, by the way." And they were like, "Thank you. That's so sweet of you." And then I'd run away and I'd be like, "Oh my God, she almost killed me. I almost died." And it's like that quote, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." I did that for a few weeks or months. Eventually, I calmed down a little bit. Then I started hitting on them properly. Then I start getting phone numbers. Then I start sleeping with some of them. Then I start dating, like long-term dating some of them. Boom. Like progress begets more progress. But yeah, there is a lot of things you can do right now. You're already doing a beautiful job, but the universe is not just going to hand you what you want. You need to do the work. And there's a lot that you can do right now. Start with baby steps. You might feel very overwhelmed and go, "Bro, but like I have to make friends and like lose my virginity and then like let go of the bitterness and resentfulness, bro. There's like so much for me to do." Yeah, bro, you're fucking 24. In the grand scheme of your life, you're like 1/4 of the way through. You have so much fucking time. I'm 37. I'm 13 years older than you. Half of your life, like I'm 50%. Yeah, I am like slightly more than 50% older than you. Like take half of your life. I've lived that much time more than you. And the time you've been an adult, which is like 6 years roughly, you're an adult roughly somewhere around 18, sort of roughly. You've been an adult for 6 years. I, my friend, have been an adult for what, 19 years? Like, bro, you have time. Believe me. All the self-improvement that you've seen me do, going from depressed and suicidal, all of that stuff, took place over like 10 years maybe. And the dating and sex life and happiness and peace and joy and the relationship with Imogen and my self-love and my mindset and my body and money, building this community, all of that stuff has happened in about a 9-year period. And so you, 9 years from now, you'd be what, 33? You could have a business that pays all your bills and your girlfriend's bills and your friends' bills. You could be changing a lot of people's lives. You could be putting yourself out there and be pretty fucking successful on a YouTube channel and a podcast and a blog. You could have a crazy amount of threesomes and a sex life and a girlfriend, long-term girlfriend that you've been with for 6 years, and she gives you so much love and all of that. You could have an amazing social life where you add to their lives and they add to yours. You could go out every day and just spread joy and love and positivity and smile at people and wish people well and help old ladies cross the street and be kind to homeless people and all of that. You could do all of that by the time you're 33. And like way more than that, by the way. Like way more than that. You could do that if you're slow. Like I've been slow with my self-improvement. And so you might say, "Man, I have so much to do. I have so much I have to do." No, motherfucker, you have so much that you get to do. You're seeing it as a chore. And this is something that so many people do. They'll say, but I still have so far to go. I still have so much that I have to do. You don't have to do jack shit. There's nothing you have to do. There's a lot of stuff that you get to do. There's stuff that you're allowed to do. And when we phrase it like that, it doesn't feel so overwhelming. It's like, wait, yeah, no, he's right. My goals are supposed to be exciting. I thought I wanted to do these goals to be happy. Why am I complaining and seeing it as a chore when it's something fun that I get to do? It's like going, oh God, I have to go to Disneyland and I have to go on all the rides and it's going to take forever to do all the rides. And then I'm going to have to eat cotton candy and God, that's going to take so long and it's going to be sticky. Oh man, I'll have to eat a hot dog for lunch. And then I'll have to like stay in the Disney hotel and like meet Mickey Mouse. Oh God, then I'm going to have to meet Pluto. Oh fucking hell. I'll have to meet Minnie Mouse. God, there's so many characters in the Disney universe I'm going to have to meet, man. It's going to be tiring. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're going to Disneyland. This is meant to be, or it's allowed to be exciting. So the same thing here, brother. You might be like, oh, I have to like fix my social life. I have to fix my virginity. I have to do all this shit. It's like, no. You get to do that stuff. You're allowed to be grateful for that stuff. And I talk about this a lot in the Play to Win video course. This chapter here, mindfulness, gratitude, self-reflection, particularly the bit about gratitude. I talk about how we can be grateful for our goals as we're working on them. You know, you can be excited like a little kid going to Disneyland when it comes to your social life. Be like, damn, dude, like it will be really cool and fun when I have an amazing social life. That's going to be amazing. Yeah. Yeah, why am I seeing that as a fucking chore? I might be scared. There might be a whole lot of baby steps that need to happen in order for me to get to that point of a cool social life. But each one of those baby steps has a payoff. I feel good when I do it. I get to celebrate my victories and my wins with other people. I get to share in all of that. I get to have other people help me. And then I feel gratitude if you practice gratitude. I get to feel gratitude towards them. Yeah, why am I thinking that would be a chore? My virginity. I get to go up to women, give them a compliment, make them feel good about themselves. They might give me one back, which will just make me giggle like a little boy. The girl told me that I'm handsome. I'm shy. Like that'll be you. That's amazing. That's so much fucking fun. You get to have a little conversation with them. You get to feel your little chest beating, your butterflies. You get the sense of accomplishment afterwards. You're like, holy fuck. I was scared and I walked up to a woman and hit on her. And she complimented me. Quite a lot of them will compliment you and be like, wow, you're courageous, or good job doing this, or I have a boyfriend, but like keep doing this. This is really amazing. Guys don't really do this much anymore. This is incredible that you did this. And you're like, whoa, I feel good. Then you get to tell people that are keeping you accountable, which by the way is something that I highly recommend for you. You can either do that in my coaching program or find some friends, like make some friends, you know, but have accountability partners that will help you. And what you're going to see is as you take steps towards these goals, you start feeling good, my brother. It's a fun trip to Disneyland that you're calling a chore and I have to do all this and it's going to be a struggle and fuck, man, I just have so far to go. No, you don't have so far to go. You have so much that you're allowed to do. You have so many fun things that you get to explore. You have so many rooms for opportunity that every time you improve at something, you're going to get a payoff. You're going to feel really good. You're going to align yourself with self-improvement, with truth, with honesty, with, I guess you would say very, very, very gently pushing yourself towards your fears and slightly out of your comfort zone, one little baby step at a time. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to throw yourself out of your comfort zone. Not at all. That can be scary and sometimes that can be traumatizing. That's not at all what we talk about here on this channel. But just gently pushing up against your comfort zone and just gently taking one little tiny baby step out of your comfort zone and then going, holy shit, I did it. Oh my God. And then you run back to your comfort zone. Your heart is beating and you go, holy fuck, I almost died. I went out of my comfort zone and I almost died. You didn't, but it feels like that sometimes. Then the next day you take one more baby step out of your comfort zone. Then you run back to your comfort zone. You go, oh my God. Oh my God. I smiled at someone today. Oh my God. I thought I was going to die, but I'm okay. And you just slowly take those little baby steps slightly out of your comfort zone one day at a time. But all of this is fun stuff that you get to do, my brother. It's not chores and scary shit that you have to do. So at the end of the day, I will finish up by saying you are doing a really beautiful job. You've posted all of this. That is incredibly courageous. My man, you are so fucking brave for posting this. And now, just do some of the things that I mentioned here if you want to. You're allowed to do some of the things that I mentioned. By the way, I threw a lot of stuff at you a lot of different ideas, a lot of different suggestions. I would probably recommend that you rewatch everything you've just watched, maybe in a day or two, and take notes. And anyone else that's in a similar situation, which quite a lot of you are, like a lot of you can relate to this guy, rewatch everything I just said and take notes and actually do what I said. Start with tiny little baby steps, write down all the things that you can do to improve your current situation while you're not helpless and stuck, and just start working on improving this shit. But good job opening up. Yeah, incredibly freaking brave of you, my man. All right, let's tackle one more in this video, and then I'm going to take a little break because sometimes these videos tire me out a little bit. Sasquatch10, what a username. I would like to meet Sasquatch 9 and 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, that's a lot of Sasquatches. Says, procrastinating on my goals. My main one is working on a side hustle that would allow me to get my own place. That's really cool, dude. That's such a cool goal, which would benefit my mental health greatly. Hell yeah, my brother. I'm assuming you're a brother. You might be a girl. The place I'm in now isn't very homely. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so anytime that we're procrastinating on our goals, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack willpower. It's not because you're pathetic or stupid or dumb. You're not saying any of those things, but like those are the thoughts that can sometimes come into our head. Man, I'm lazy. Why do I procrastinate? What's wrong with me? Why do I just sit around not doing the things that I actually want to do? Because, two things. As I hinted at with the previous guy that I just, gave advice to, you are probably to some extent telling yourself that there is a bunch of stuff that you have to do or that you should do. I should be working on my side hustle. I know that that would help me with my mental health. Why am I not doing it? I need to do it. I must do it. I have to do it. I should do it. And you guilt trip yourself and you feel a lot of frustration towards yourself for not doing something that you think you, quote, should do. And one of the things that we do a lot in the coaching program is we get rid of the word should or have to or need to or must and any of that sort of guilt-tripping language that we often put on ourselves to essentially beat ourselves up for not doing the thing that we say we want to do. And the mechanism behind that, or the reason why we do that, the reason why we beat ourselves up, because we're hoping that'll push us to take action. But what it usually results in is we will take a little bit of action. Like beating yourself up can get you to take a tiny bit of action. But as you're already finding out, it's not very sustainable. If you beat yourself up and say, I should be doing this, which is guilt tripping, I need to do this, I have to do this, I must do this, which is like fear. We feel all this fear and all of this like, fuck, I'm going to miss out if I don't do this. I should do this. I have to do this. All of those sort of low level emotions, they just drag us down. And you might take a little bit of action, but you fall off the wagon. You then start procrastinating. The only time we ever procrastinate something is if we feel like it's a chore. If I tell you, or your mother or your father tell you, you have to do the dishes, or you have to you have to go mow the lawn, or you have to vacuum the house. You go, oh, Mom, I don't want to do that. You have to take out the trash. I don't want to. I don't want to. But imagine if you felt like you get to take out the trash, or you get to mow the lawn. Imagine if there's some payoff in it, or some gratitude that you feel while you do it. Imagine if it's exciting to you. Imagine if it doesn't feel like something you have to do, but it feels like something that you get to do, that you're allowed to do, that you genuinely have fun doing. You won't procrastinate it. You want to do it. In fact, I couldn't stop you from doing it. I can't stop you from doing the things that you want to do. You're probably spending a lot of time doing them right now. You're probably playing video games or looking at porn or something like that. Why? Because you want to. I can't stop you from doing those things. That's how addiction works. People get addicted to their vices because they want to do their vices. The vices are fun. But imagine if I said to you, you have to look at porn. You have to play video games. What you find is if you go and listen to Twitch streamers or YouTubers who do video games or who play video games for a living, some of them will talk about how it feels like a fucking chore. Literally. Because they feel like they have to do it for like 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day or something to make money, it no longer becomes fun. I think we've all heard of stories of like artists that make it their job or musicians that make it their job, and then it no longer becomes fun, or it's no longer fun for them. They're not able to appreciate it because it feels like a chore. They've started telling themselves it's something that they have to do, and then it's not fun. And so the number one bit of advice I'll give you right now is stop telling yourself that you have to work on a side hustle. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You could quit your job. You could go be homeless and just get welfare for the rest of your life if you wanted to. Like, that's an option. Plenty of people do similar stuff to that. There are plenty of people living out of a van, or there are plenty of people that live in their car. There are plenty of homeless people. There are plenty of people that become Buddhist monks and just travel around and practice what is known as asceticism, which is where you let go of all your attachments to objects and you just live with basically nothing. You could do that. You could go join Mother Teresa and her sisterhoods and brotherhoods over there. I know she's passed on, but she still has a legacy. Go live in India or any other country. There's a lot of countries where you go volunteer that and you take a vow of chastity. A vow of chastity. You do take a vow of chastity, but you take a vow of poverty. And so you let go of everything. You don't have a job. You just go and help other people. You could do that. Like, you don't need to have a side hustle. You don't need to have your own place. You don't need to have a homely place. Do you want to have those things? And if I say that to you, do you want to have those things? If you take a deep breath and stop saying, I need them for my own mental health, I have to do it, I should do it. If you let go of all of that, and I say, would you like a nice home that feels a little bit more homely? If you take a deep breath, you'll probably say, yeah, I do want that. Okay. Now we're working on something that you want, rather than something that you're telling yourself you should do, or you have to do, or you need. It's that attachment, it's that word need, or I have to, or I should, or I must, that brings up all the fear of not having it, the pain and suffering from not having it right now. I need it right now. That desire, that like painful desire, that feeling of guilt and shame of like, fuck, I should be working on this. I shouldn't be procrastinating. Why am I wasting time procrastinating? Why am I watching movies and playing video games and doing bullshit I don't care about? I should be fucking working on this right now. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? It's letting go of all of that and then saying, what do I want? And going towards that. In other words, making it a fun thing. Like I talked about before in this video with Disneyland, you know? If I say you get to go to Disneyland, you're probably very excited. If I say you get to work on your goals and build a side hustle, won't that be fun and cool? You probably go, yeah. But it's that attachment that you have right now and that pain and suffering from not having achieved it yet. That's what's causing you to procrastinate. You've basically called it a chore. You've said, I have to do this for my mental health. I have to do this because the place I'm in right now isn't very homely. So it's that pressure that you're putting on yourself to just get it done and hurry up and do it. That's what's causing you to procrastinate. Now, an antidote or another antidote to procrastination on top of what I just said, which is letting go of that story of like, I have to do it, and that guilt and that shame and that fear of not doing it, letting go of all of that and just saying, do I want to do this? Yeah, I do want to do this. Am I excited to do this? Yeah, I am excited. I think this will be fun. You know, seeing it as a fun, exciting thing you get to do rather than this chore that you have to do. That's one thing you can do to help let go of the procrastination. The second thing is get some fucking accountability partners. That would help. You know, you're welcome to come to my coaching program, find some friends that will sort of give you a gentle nudge towards this. One of the things that we do in the coaching program is we set everybody up with an accountability partner, and they will meet with that accountability partner, like just on Zoom, once a week, and they'll push each other through the week and they'll keep each other accountable. Like, that could be something that you do either in my program or with a friend of yours or something like that. But then the next thing that I will give you is break down the goal into baby steps. Anytime we find ourselves procrastinating on a goal, it's number one, because we've told ourselves we have to do it, we should, we need to, all of that, we must, we guilt trip, we feel that shame of not having done it, we feel that fear of missing out, all of that. That makes us procrastinate. We avoid that thing because that thing is bringing us lots of tension and stress and fear and shame and guilt. So we avoid it. That's what you're doing. You're not procrastinating, you're avoiding. Very different things. But the second reason that we procrastinate is because we've set the bar too high. We've overwhelmed ourselves. You've probably sat there and told yourself everything that you have to do in order to get a new place. Oh God, I have to build a side hustle. I have to know how to do that. I'll have to figure out tax. I have to know what kind of value I'm going to give to people. I have to be good at that. I have to give them a really good, genuine product. What if they criticize it? What if I don't do a good job? What if I fail? What if I make a mistake? What if I get rejected? Like, all of that. That brings up a lot of fucking stress. You overwhelm yourself and then you, again, avoid. It's not procrastination, it's avoidance. You're avoiding all of the things that make you freaked out and stressed and overwhelmed. Fair enough. Human beings are creatures of avoidance. Most animals are. You can just say most life forms avoid suffering and pain. Duh. Obviously, that's a pretty fucking obvious statement. So you're not procrastinating. You're not lazy. There's nothing wrong with you. You're avoiding suffering. That's kind of a nice mechanism. Isn't it nice that your body is looking after you and saying, I'm going to avoid the things that bring me suffering? Great. That's why you're avoiding your goals, because right now they're overwhelming to you. You've probably just set the bar too high. So lower that bar. This is why I say give yourself permission to suck and just take a baby step every day and then just keep going. That's it. That's the formula for success. And so if your goals right now are overwhelming you, break them down into smaller sub goals. Break them down into baby steps that you can take. If right now, the idea of a side hustle is intimidating you and scaring the shit out of you. And by the way, I have like no idea what your side hustle is or any of that, but let's just use a random example. Why don't we use me and what I do? So I obviously coach people, and part of how people come to the coaching program, which helps me pay the bills, is I do this free content. Some of you will change your life with this free content. You go, wow, that really changed my life. Then you go, wow, I bet if I paid this bald, beautiful retard some money, he would change my life even more. Yes, that's obviously a true statement. Then they come to the coaching program, they give me money. So that's roughly how I pay the bills. There's more to it than that, but that's like the rough idea, right? If I do content, if I help people, they will give me money, roughly. Let's say I was procrastinating doing content, which sometimes I do. Sometimes I feel myself procrastinating, and it is always because I have told myself that I should do content. I should change these people's lives. I should be doing more to help people. I have a responsibility to help people. Like that's where the shoulds come in. And making it a chore and telling myself I have to, I need to, I must, I should, that guilt tripping. And then I procrastinate. And so anytime I find myself doing that, which is probably maybe twice a week, that voice will come in that says, Andy, you really shouldn't be laying on the couch chilling right now. You should be recording content to help people. People are suffering. That's why I'm doing this video here today, why I put out that call to action to all of you to tell me what you're suffering with, because I can see all of you suffering. You're telling me stories of suffering. And so that guilt trip comes into my head. What I do is I take a deep breath and I say, I don't have to help anyone. I could go the rest of my life and never help another person. That's an option that I have. I'm allowed to do that. Now, what do I want to do? And then I take a deep breath and I go, no, I like helping people. A lot of people helped me and continue to help me. A lot of people have changed my life for the better. It makes me feel nice when I'm able to do that for other people. Okay, so what do I want to do? Yeah, I think I want to sit down and record a piece of content today. Cool. I'm allowed to do that. Do I want to do that right now? Yeah, let's grab a glass of water and let's do that. I grab my glass of water, I sit down, and I go, all right, do I want to start right now? Yeah, let's do it. And that's literally what I did this morning when I started this video. So I do that probably twice a week. I'll have that pressure that the brain puts on you to hurry up and do your goals and hurry up and work on them. But I take that away from myself and I say, I'm allowed to if I want to. And if I don't want to, that's okay too. I'm just going to go with what my heart says, go with what I want to do, because that's being integrous, that's being honest. But saying I should work on my goals, that's not integrity. That's lying. That's trying to push yourself to do something that right now you might not want to do. So be honest with yourself and say, if I want to work on my goal today, I'm allowed to. And if I don't want to, I don't have to. I can do whatever I want. There's no fucking man sitting in the sky saying, you need to be working on your side hustle. Otherwise you're a bad person. No, it's just some bullshit that we make up ourselves and put that judgment on ourselves. So you can do whatever you want. Now, there might be consequences and outcomes. If you don't work on your goal, yeah, you might sit at home and feel like your mental health is not so great, that you don't feel good. And if you work on this goal, you might move into a nice place that helps your mental health. Now, which of those two outcomes do you want? And you might say, well, I want the outcome of feeling good. And I don't really want the outcome of sitting at home and my mental health isn't great. Okay, so I want to work on this goal. I don't have to. It's not about needing to. I don't have to force myself. I want it because I want the outcome that I think will happen if I work on this. Okay. So I do want to work on this goal. That's a nice thing to realize. Okay. All right. Would I like to work on that right now? I don't have to. I'm allowed to sit on the couch. but I might not feel very good about that decision. It might not move me any closer to my goal, but I'm allowed to sit on the couch if I want to. Plenty of people do. Plenty of people in the world sit around doing nothing but swiping on TikTok and, fucking around on Netflix and stuff like that. I'm allowed to take that option if I want to. Do I want the outcome that I think will happen if I do that? No, I don't really want that. Okay, cool. What do I want? I think I do want to work on my side hustle today. Okay, what would I like to do? Well, I'm really overwhelmed when I think about all that I have to do. Oh, wait, I don't have to do anything. Okay, I'm really overwhelmed when I think about all the stuff that it might take in order for me to achieve this goal. Okay. So that's a little overwhelming. Is there some baby step that I would like to take right now? And then you think for a little bit and you break that goal down into the tiniest little bit of action that you could take right now. And you'll go, yeah, I think I want to take that little baby step right now. And then great, you're allowed to if you want to. Do whatever you want. This is like literally how we run our coaching program, by the way. Like we never tell anyone you have to work on your side hustle. You should, because that just brings up fear, guilt, shame, frustration that you're not currently doing it, procrastination and avoidance, all of that. And so what we do in the coaching program all the time is we say, would you like to work on this goal? And people go, yeah, man, I'm just procrastinating. I'm struggling. And we go, okay, what would you like to do? And they go, huh? What do you mean? I'm not used to asking myself what I want to do because I'm too busy guilt tripping myself into what I think I should do and how I think I should live my life. So I don't even know how to answer the question of what I actually want to do right now. And we'll go, that's okay. Take your time with it. Take a deep breath. What would you like to do right now? And they go, fuck, man. Okay. I think I want to work on this. I'm just really scared. Okay. What would you like to do right now? What's one little baby step that you would like to do? And they go, huh. Maybe I want to go outside and try smiling at one woman today. Beautiful. You're allowed to do that if you want to. You don't have to. Nothing bad happens if you don't, other than the story that you tell about it. You say that it's a bad thing, but you're allowed to talk to that one woman if you want to. Would you like to do that today? And they go, huh. Yeah, I think that would be really nice. Rather than, I should go outside. I know I should be going outside and talking to women. No, let all that bullshit go. And then what happens? They actually go outside and talk to a girl because they're allowed to. It's one of the things I do when I'm, when we're encouraging guys to go outside and start approaching women. I never say, go outside and talk to women. I never say, when you go out today, you have to talk to some woman. I never give a challenge or anything like that. What I say is, every time when you're about to leave the house to go outside, say out loud to yourself, if you want to, say out loud to yourself, I'm allowed to talk to a woman today when I go outside. And then walk around with that energy. Repeat it in your mind. If you see a cute girl, don't say, I should really talk to her. Come on, I should be working on this. That just makes you avoid. You feel like it's a chore. Say to yourself, I'm allowed to talk to that girl. Would I like to? And sometimes the answer will be like, no, I think I feel a bit too much fear right now and I don't want to. Okay, beautiful, great. You don't have to. No one can make you do that. Most of the time what happens, or a lot of the time what happens, is you'll say, do I want to talk to that girl? You'll think about it in your head. Yeah, I think I would. I think I really would. And you walk over and you're really scared, but you have this like peaceful energy because you're not forcing yourself and fucking cracking that whip and beating yourself up. You walk over to her and you're like, hey, I wanted to come and say hi. You're really cute. And, I'm Andy. What are you doing today? What are you up to? And then you have a nice conversation. So letting go of that force behind goals. Like we think if we force ourselves that we'll somehow be able to achieve all our goals. Force and pushing and guilt tripping and shaming and fear and all of that, it works a little bit at the start, but it's not sustainable. Most of the goals that most of you have are going to take months or years to achieve. You are not going to force yourself. You just don't have the evil is a very strong word. You don't have the sociopathy. Like you're not a sociopath. You don't have the sociopathy or psychopathy that it would take to beat yourself up for months on end. All of you guys and girls are just too fucking nice. You can't crack that whip because you can see the pain that it brings. You're not going to be capable of cracking that whip and beating yourself up and guilt tripping yourself and shaming yourself and using fear and force to achieve your goals over the months or years that it might take. You're all just too fucking nice for that. What will work though is being gentle and kind and loving with yourself and saying, do I want to work on this goal right now? Yeah. I think I do. Like that will work. You'll be able to do that. You can keep that up for years forever. That's sustainable forever because it's not requiring force, it's not requiring willpower or motivation or making yourself do something. It's you saying, what would you like to do? And again, the things that we want to do, the things that we would like to do are very fucking easy to do because we want to do them. The very statement of saying or asking yourself, do I want to work on this goal? And then when the answer comes up of, yeah, I do want to take some steps towards my side hustle. The very statement of the phrase, I want to, is energizing in itself. It's motivating in itself. I want to is far more motivating than I should. I should is draining. It's a heavy statement. If you say I should, like right now, try this. Try looking around your apartment or your house or your room or whatever. Look at something that you've been telling yourself you should do, or just invent something. Like maybe like my kitchen right now is a little bit messy. If I say the statement, I should clean that up, there's a heaviness inside me. I can fucking feel it. Pause the podcast right now and try it. Try it for 2 seconds. Try looking around the room and saying, I should really clean up my room. I should put that laundry away. I should stop procrastinating. Try it. Try it. Okay, hopefully you actually paused and tried it. But saying the statement, I should, literally makes you feel fucking tired and like pulled down. It feels like you want to avoid that feeling. That's why we fucking procrastinate. We say the statement, I should do this, and then we avoid the very feeling that that statement, I should, brings up. I should literally brings up guilt, fear, pain, suffering, all of that shit. It's a heavy fucking burden to live your life as I should, or I must, or I need. I need is a very fucking heavy statement too. We all know the heaviness of neediness, and saying I need to work on this side hustle, or I need to work on my goal. That's fucking heavy, boys and girls. That's heavy. Now try saying I want to. Like literally say the exact same thing you said before. Just don't say I should. Say I want to. Like try saying I want to clean up the dishes, and then just sit with that for a little bit and see how that feels. Try it right now. I want to clean my room, or I want to work on my side hustle. Or you can say, I'm excited. That's another statement that I get my coaching clients to say all the time, if they want to, which they all do want to. You say, I'm excited to work on this goal. Like try saying, I'm excited to work on my side hustle. I'm excited to go outside and talk to some women. I'm excited to lose a little bit of weight. I'm excited to work on my mental health. I'm excited to clean my kitchen. Try it right now. Pause the video and try saying, I'm excited, and then whatever you want to do. Okay, hopefully you did that. Can you feel the difference between I should and I'm excited to? Like they feel radically fucking different, don't they? Yeah, that's because one requires force. You saying I should requires a lot of force, but you saying I want to, man, that's exciting. Or I'm excited to. Holy fuck, now you feel excited. So that is one thing that you can do here, my friend. Instead of saying I should work on my side hustle for my mental health, I need to for my mental health. That's heavy shit, bro. That's why you're avoiding, or as you call it, procrastinating. But procrastination is avoidance. Try saying I'm excited to, and say that all the time. Or I'm allowed to, or I get to, or would I like to, or what do I want to do? You know, this is, again, the foundation of my fucking coaching program. It's like, what do you want to do? What are you excited to do? What would bring you joy? What would spark joy in your life? You know, there's a woman called Marie Kondo, I believe. Yeah, Marie Kondo, this lady, she's a little cute little Japanese lady. And one of her sayings is, what would inspire joy, or what would spark joy? Like go towards what will inspire joy in your life. And that's kind of your antidote here, my friend. Instead of saying I should work on my side hustle, would it bring me some joy if I work on my side hustle? If the answer is yes, beautiful, do that. Or do I want the outcomes of working on my side hustle, which in your case, you know, you're saying would be going to my own place and improving my mental health? Like, do I want those things? If the answer is yes, then would I like to work on my side hustle to make those things happen or get me closer to those things? And if the answer is yes, then that's what you work on. So yeah, man, we're just moving more towards excitement, joy, and love, doing what you love, doing what you're excited about, doing what brings you joy, rather than guilt tripping, shame, fear, frustration, anger, pushing yourself, force. All of those are very heavy and they're very, very, very low emotions. They don't energize you. But love, joy, excitement, and doing what you want and what you're excited about, that's fucking exciting. It's like going to Disneyland versus having to do chores and having to clean the kitchen and having to put the dishes away, which we avoid. I said I was only going to do two, but I think I'll do a third one really quickly. because it's basically the exact same question. So Booba Key 3495 says, I find myself playing online games like Counter-Strike. Fuck yeah, my boy. Although it's called CS2 now, my boy. Get with the times, bro. And LOL, which is League of Legends, in my downtime, but it's never enjoyable and it feels like an addiction when I'd rather be watching anime or reading a book. I've tried deleting them, but no dice. The only way that's worked is getting temporary bans, so I know I can't play. That's funny. I'm not sure why I keep going to gaming like this when I know I'd rather do another thing. Okay, so everything I just said for the previous guy applies to you. You know, you are telling yourself, whether you realize it or not, you are subconsciously telling yourself, I should be doing the other thing and I shouldn't be playing Counter-Strike. I shouldn't be playing League of Legends. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. I should be doing anime, or I should be reading a book, or I should be working on my goals, or I should be doing something more productive. So again, let go of that and do what you want to do. You know, you might say, but Andy, my brain is telling me that I want to play Counter-Strike, but then when I do it, I'm not happy. Okay, so do you want the outcomes of playing Counter-Strike and League of Legends? Which is right now, you know, you feel like that regret or like, man, I kind of wish I'd done something else. Do you want that? If the answer is no, then you don't play the online games. You don't play Counter-Strike. You don't play League of Legends. You go with what you want. Like, do you want the outcome of what happens when you watch anime or when you read a book or you work on your self-improvement? If the answer is yes, then that's what your heart is calling out to you. That's what you go with. But it's that fear or guilt that we use on ourselves where we're like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be playing games. I should be fucking doing something more productive. That makes us feel like shit. Like I said before, it feels like a heavy burden. Then for that feeling of shitness or that feeling that doesn't feel very good, we then self-medicate that with the very thing that's causing us to feel like that. That is the cycle of addiction. Understand that the cycle of addiction keeps going because of the guilt and the shame that we feel from it. We do our addiction or our vice, we feel negative afterwards, or we don't feel as good, or we feel like we wished we'd used our time in a different manner. Then we feel guilty and ashamed about that. And to self-medicate away that feeling or to deal with that feeling, we run straight back to the addiction and the cycle fucking repeats. And sometimes we will use willpower and motivation and say, okay, I need to stop, which is again guilt tripping and shame. And we beat ourselves up and say, I'm a bad boy. I don't know why I'm doing this. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this addiction? We feel like shit, and maybe we can stay away for a couple of days, sometimes even a couple of weeks away from our addiction. But that guilt and that shame eventually comes back, and then we run back to the addiction. Then the whole cycle starts again. So the way out of an addictive cycle is by finding a higher purpose, by finding higher meaning. There are so many really, really, really good programs that will help you work through addiction. The best one is like Alcoholics Anonymous. I know that you're talking about video games, but the 12-step principles from Alcoholics Anonymous, go look them up. They literally apply to this. It's find a higher purpose, find a higher meaning, find some people that will keep you accountable. Like, you alone are not going to stop video games and replace it with something that you actually want to do. It's got to come from other people. You're very welcome to come to my coaching program, and we can all help you with this, and we will love you. We will support you. We will be there for you. We won't judge you. We'll help you do more of what you want by asking you, what do you want? And you'll say, well, right now I really feel like video games, but I don't want the outcome of playing video games. I think what I want is to read a book. Beautiful. Would you like to do that? And you'll go, yeah, I think so. And then you'll do that. Like, that's basically what the coaching would be for you and would help you achieve all your goals and all of that too. If you don't want to do that, or you don't have the money or whatever, that's fine. Find some sort of group that will help you with addiction. There are so many support groups out there for addiction. There are video game addiction groups as well, by the way. Like, this is a really common thing. Video game addiction is really fucking common these days. So find some support. Like, you alone are not going to have the energy, and you're not going to be able to break out of the shame and guilt cycle. It's going to require outside support and outside love. Basically, it is love. That is the benefit of something like an Alcoholics Anonymous or any 12-step program, is that the other people are non-judgmental, they are open-minded, they have been through the same thing as you, and they have conquered it or just let go of it. And they have unconditional love for everybody that comes to the group, as long as you're willing to be open-minded and do the work, and take the group somewhat seriously. They will love you, and it is love that will pull you up. I've talked about this recently, in this recent video here on my channel about how love is more powerful than mere logic and reason. And love is absolutely more powerful than you just using your own willpower and force. You don't have a lot of energy in your own willpower. It very easily runs out. I think part of you knows that. That's why you keep saying, essentially what you're saying here is, I'm trying to use my own willpower to stop video games and I can't do it. Yeah, because willpower is limited, but love is fucking infinite, you could almost say. Other people that will love you and pick you up, there's just so much more energy behind that. Like a loving, kind, compassionate, open minded person who's been through the thing that you've gone through or that you're going through can lift you up far more than you can push yourself up with your own limited willpower. So I would get some sort of accountability. Even tell some fucking friends, bro. Like, just tell some friends, hey, I'm working on letting go of my video games. Can you keep me accountable? Would you mind if I talk to you about it once a week or every day? If you really need to. This is the very mechanism behind me talking about some of my addictions on this channel. I share that stuff so that you can all keep me accountable. You don't have to do anything to keep me accountable. Just telling you, hey, I'm going, another year or two without alcohol, which I said that like three months ago, about 3 months ago. Yeah, I think it's more than 3 months ago. Yeah, I'm going a year without alcohol, maybe longer after that. I post that in a video because then, wow, now I have a bunch of people that might care about me and care about the fact that I'm, going sober again. Wow, isn't that good? I told all of my friends, I told all of my family. I tell people about the addictions, and then that helps me work through it and helps me be accountable because they just have more energy because there's more of them. And because they love me and care about me, they have more energy than my own fucking limited willpower. So, yeah, my friend, I would take all the advice that I gave to the previous person about not guilt tripping yourself and shaming yourself and pushing yourself and forcing yourself to just quit the games. Like, that is very limited. Start going more towards like, what do I want? Do I want to watch anime right now, or would I like to play video games? And sometimes the answer might be, fuck, man, I just want to play a little bit of Counter-Strike. And if that means I regret it, then I think I'm okay with that. Maybe I can limit myself to 1 hour, like one fucking match, play one game of Counter-Strike, play one fucking game of League of Legends. Like, how long is a League of Legends game? Like 40 minutes at max? Counter-Strike? Bro, you can play a fucking game in like half an hour easy. And so you could limit yourself to that. Set a stopwatch on your phone, maybe text a friend and be like, bro, can you call me in 30 minutes from now? And if I still have the video game on, then, just gently tell me, would you like to turn the game off? And I'll go, yeah, man, I think I would like to turn it off. Thank you for keeping me accountable. Whatever you need to do, but you can have video games as a healthy place in your life. In fact, I did a podcast on this recently. It's not out yet. It'll be on my Spotify in like another couple of weeks or so, where I talked about how video games have a healthy point in my life, or I guess they're a healthy outlet in my life, but that was not always the case for me. In fact, I went an entire year without video games because I was like, I'm just playing too much Dota 2, which is basically the same game as League of Legends, pretty much the same game. I was very addicted to it. And I was like, man, I'm playing for hours a day. This isn't really what I want. I don't like the outcomes that happen when I play this much. I think I'm going to take a break for a year and see how I feel. So I went away from it. And now video games have a nice, healthy, fun little place in my life where I only play them in the afternoon after I've done a whole lot of work and gotten a lot done and feel like I've made a lot of progress with my self-improvement. Then I fuck around and play video games for a couple of hours, and it helps me relax. It's fun. It's beautiful. I play video games specifically that I feel like will add to my life. Video games that have a very strong plot that has lots of philosophy in it, like the Talos Principle and the Talos Principle 2, or games that have a beautiful message and talk about love and all of that, like Spiritfarer. That's a really good game. There's a lot of other games, like indie games like To the Moon. Any of you that have played To the Moon, you fucking know what I'm talking about there. But I try and play video games to add to my life, and I only play them after I've already done my, I guess you would say, work or self-improvement for the day. So that's something you could do if you would like to. But if you feel like, no, I think what I would like to do is not have them at all, you're allowed to do that. But you're probably just being guilt tripping yourself and forcing yourself, and that is much harder. All right, my beautiful friends, I am definitely tired now. I'm going to go for a little walk and maybe get some breakfast. I appreciate all of you for opening up. You've all done a really good job being vulnerable and honest. I said this in the last video, but I'm constantly impressed and in admiration of how brave you all are and how much you're able to open up and share the things that terrify you and work on your struggles and admit your struggles and admit your suffering. I think that's really fucking incredible and courageous of you. And I didn't say this in the last video, but one thing that can be really nice to hear, and it's very much true, even though we don't feel like it in the moment, is that you're all doing a really good job. I promise, even if it feels like, but I'm a train wreck. I'm a virgin, Andy. I'm a loser. I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I promise you're doing a good job, and all that's left is to keep doing what you're doing. In other words, I know it doesn't feel like this, and I know this statement when you're in the middle of suffering sounds insane, but it can still be nice to hear it, even if you don't fully believe it. But everything is okay, I promise, and everything is going to be okay, I promise.